Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this Saturday. We're back again. I'm going to give you here, normally we have our food for thought segment where we go over games in the morning or afternoon. Then I have another video where I give you my final picks. But this will be a condensed version today on this Saturday. So I'm going to give you my picks for NHL because some of these games are starting in about 30 minutes to an hour that I'm going to give out. And I'm going to do some NFL. That starts 30 minutes to an hour. Some of the games, some of them are later on. I'll do that. So the NHL, college football, and college basketball. I have two picks for those games. So we're going to start off with the NHL. This game starts in 30 minutes, so hopefully you can get this in there within 30 minutes. If you can live bet this game, try and live bet if you can. If you cannot, hopefully you can get to this game in 30 minutes or less. This game is Montreal versus Florida. This game is in Sunshine, Florida, or Sunrise, Florida, in the Florida area. This is a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. That's 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Okay, so this game here, the total is over 6.5 goals. The over has, the last two meetings this game has gone over the total. The last 10 games between these two teams, 7-3 to the over. Montreal's last 10 games have gone 10-4 in their last 10 games to the over. I'm sorry, last 14 games, 10-4 to the over. And Florida's last 3 games, 3-6 and 1 to the under. Now, seeing all that, this is one of my strong plays. I'm still taking over 6.5 goals, Montreal and Florida, just because of the 7-3 record to the over in the last 10 meetings. I'm on the over. And when both of these teams meet, this is the trend that usually happens when they meet up each and every time. So I'm going to be taking the over in this game. That's one of my strong plays for hockey. My second strong play, Seattle versus Washington. The total here is 5.5. I bet the over in this game. In this series, 9-1 to the over in the last 10 games. In general, Seattle's 5-4 and 1 to the over in the last 10 games. This is in general playing other teams. Vancouver, 3-6-1 to the under in the last 10 meetings. However, I am going to take the over in this game, just because of that 9-1 record to the over between these two teams in the last 10 meetings. I'm on the over. Over 5.5, Seattle versus Washington. I love this play. These are my strong plays. Now, I do have an additional game as well. Philadelphia versus Anaheim. It is 5.5 right now. So this one here, I like over 5.5 goals. Philadelphia versus Anaheim. 5-5 the last 10 meetings, the total. So it's even, 5-5. In general, actually 5-5 the last 10 meetings when they face off against each other. Sorry, that's 5-5 the last 10 meetings when they face off against each other. Now, for the total, 7-3 to the over in the last 10 meetings. That's head-to-head between Philadelphia and Anaheim. I like that, so I like that a lot. In general, Philadelphia is 7-2-1 to the over in the last 4 games. That's playing other teams. Anaheim 4-5-1 to the under, playing other teams in the last 10 games. But I'm still trending to the over. I like the over here, over 5.5. I did bet this one as well. Sidewise, picking a side. No opinion on the sides for either of these games, unfortunately, but I do like the over in this game. Games I didn't get to the window, games that I did not get to the window on was Ottawa, Winnipeg. The over/under is 6. This series here is an under series basically. This is an under series. The last 10 game meetings between these two teams, 3 and 6 to the under. In general, Ottawa 1 and 7 suit to the under. Ottawa, Winnipeg 4 and 5 and 1 to the under. So this is generally is an under series. Under 6 or 5.5. I did not play it, but for any under bettors who like to bet unders, this is the under. That's the one I would take. Now I do have one here for Washington and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Did not get to this one either, just in case you're curious about this game. The last 10 meetings, Toronto 8 and 2 the last 10 meetings against Washington, so they've dominated Washington. To the over/under series, 4-3 and 3 to the over between Washington and Toronto. Washington is 0 and 8 and 2 to the under in the last 10 games. The Leafs are 7-2 and 1 to the over in the last 10 games. So this one here, I did not choose a side or a total. These are just stats for you to think about. But I already gave you my plays. Again, I'll recap. Over 6.5 goals, Montreal and Florida. This game starts in about 30 minutes. If you can get there, try and get there for this game. If you cannot, see if you can bet it live to catch that number. That's what I would suggest. That's what I advised you to do. Seattle, Vancouver. This game starts later in like 3 hours, so you have some time to get this one. This one here is over 5.5 goals. I like this one here, over 5.5. The one that did not make my card, but I would consider Philly, Anaheim, over 5.5 goals. This is a good one, but it did not make my card. It might make my card, but something to think about. That I would suggest that you take. So those are my three. Those are my plays for the NHL. Now for the NFL, New England versus the Chargers. I only have one prop play in this game. One prop play and one prop play only. I only have. Did not pick a side or a total. This one here, the only prop play I have is Ramon Stevenson. Ramon Stevenson, 44.5 rushing yards. This one will open up at 40. It has now gone to 44.5. I played it at 44.5. I still took it. I like this one a lot for Ramon Stevenson. Very reliable running back for the New England Patriots. He's very durable and consistent. So again, this is at 40. It went up to 42. Now it's at 44.5. Again, this here, it's still one of the lowest rushing totals for Stevenson. So I still went with Stevenson. I like the Stevenson rushing totals. I like that one. So I think he'll get more. I think he'll get more time than Gibson. I know Gibson's in the backfield as well. They have a 1-2 punch, but I still like Stevenson over this total. Both will get equal amounts of touches, but I think Stevenson will get more of the bulk. Last week, Stevenson got in 12 carries, he got 60 yards. And so I can see some momentum here for Stevenson. I think he'll basically rack up more yards. And then 89 yards on 12 carries against Miami. He did very well. That was the game before. So I do like Stevenson here. And the Chargers do struggle against the run. They're not good against the run. So Stevenson will have his opportunities to make hay against a terrible Charger run defense. I like Stevenson here. I understand Gibson is going to be involved as well, but Stevenson will be the man. He will get his touches, and get over this number. I'm very confident in Stevenson. I'm taking that one. That's one of my plays. The second play I'm going with here, I do like Bo Nix. The Bo Nix over 21.5 rushing yards. This one's very good. It's a very good prop. He has run for 23 yards in each of his last two games. And he's cleared this number in 6 other games this season. And he has great potential to use his legs against this Cincinnati defense. They allow 148 rushing yards last week, including 49 to Cleveland. So the Bengals' rush defense is no big threat. Or run defense is no big threat to Denver. Denver can mix it up. And especially when Denver falls behind. This is the key. This is where Bo Nix is very effective. When they fall behind, Bo Nix can use his legs to get yards. So this will be that's the key. This is why this total for the over is very. This is why I like the over for Bo Nix. He can use his legs here and be very effective. So I like Bo Nix here over 21.5. I like it here, even though it opened up at 20, and now it went up. I'll still take the over. There's a lot of value here. I like this very much. That's my prop for that game. The Arizona game for Arizona, I do like 2 props actually. Trey McBride, 60.5 receiving yards. I like this one here a lot. It has gone up now. That's when it opened up. Now it's gone up to 64.5. I'd still play at 64.5. Trey McBride has been a security blanket for Kyler Murray. So I like this prop a lot. The Rams, they're not too good in covering these tight ends. They have problems dealing with these tight ends. Tight ends are feasting and having a heyday against the Rams secondary. So they're not good with covering these tight ends. So I think McBride, he can definitely have an impact. And remember, he's just 42 yards short of 1,000 receiving yards on the season. So there's motivation here for him to have a big game and to break the record, to get 1,000 receiving yards and to eclipse the 64.5 receiving yards. So there is motivation here, and there's incentive and motivation for Trey McBride, to clear this number. And like I said, the Rams, they're not good with covering these tight ends. They're having a lot of issues with that. Now, in week 2, coincidentally, he had 69 yards on 6 receptions versus the Rams in week 2. This is in Arizona. So he did have success and clear this number before. So I don't see this changing, because the Rams have allowed the 9th most yardage to tight ends this season. So yes, I like the McBride one a lot. That's my other one. And I like James Conner. James Conner is fire. This guy is absolute fire. Over 58.5 rushing yards. James Conner, he's one that you gotta ride. You gotta ride the hot hand. Conner's been money. He's been money for player props for rushing. Gotta ride the hot hand. I'm gonna continue to ride him. His numbers speak for itself. This man has really had a banner year for in terms of rushing. He's been very good. So I'm going to take James Conner, 58.5 rushing yards. So if you can get that one there. Those are the props for the NFL. And finally, we go to college basketball. I have 2 games, but they're totals, over-unders. Now, the first one is Gonzaga versus UCLA. This one here is at 4 p.m. this afternoon. I have this one here. The first half, This is a first half total. 70. I got 69.5, 70. That's the first half total. I didn't bother to do the full game. I know the full game total in this game, when I look at the odds screen here, I'll take a look at it now. Just in case you guys are curious about this. The full game total was, let me pull it up here on the odds screen as we populate this information. Give it some time. Let's see. Yes, so it opened up here. Gonzaga -4. The total 147.5. Now it's up to 148.5. That's where we are now. Now you can't. I won't talk you off of taking the over 148.5. I won't talk you off that whatsoever. But for me, I'm personally taking over 70 in the first. Over 70 in the first half. You can get it at 69.5 as well. But I got it at 70. If you get 69.5 for you, even better. But I took the over in the first half. Again, I'm not going to talk you off taking 148.5 for the over. That's my play. I didn't pick a side, but if I had to choose a side, I'd take Gonzaga -4, the money line. To me, Gonzaga is the more superior team. I know this game's Inglewood, but Gonzaga is more of a superior team, and they're more battle tested, and they have a veteran squad who can put up points offensively. So I like Gonzaga the -4. UCLA can put up points as well. They have their moms, they put up points, but Gonzaga is the cream of the crop. So -4 Gonzaga for me, or the money line. Either one that you want to choose. I'm on Gonzaga. If I had to choose, it'd be Gonzaga or the money line. I did not play either one, but that's what I would recommend you to do if you're going to play that one. Next game that I have here: Ole Miss versus Memphis. The Memphis Tigers and Penny Hardaway. This one here is open up at 1.5. The total's 151. You're seeing -2s now for Memphis. The 2s are popping up. So if you like Memphis at to cover the -2, you can go ahead and take Memphis at the 1.5 before it gets to 2. Some books have it already. See if you can catch the -1.5 before it gets to 2. If you cannot do that, I would bet the money line. I personally, when I see these short spreads, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. When it's 1.5 range to 4 or 1 to 4, I personally take the money line. I money line plays. Everybody else is different. If you want the spread, take the spread. Me, I'm on money line. I would money line it. I did not take the money line, but that's what I would recommend and suggest to you. Instead, I went the first half over 71.5, 72. I took the over. I see a lot of offense in this game, for sure. These games, these marquee prime games, usually a lot of offense. So I like the over in this game. Now I'm not going to talk you off of taking the full game over. Right now we're seeing some books they have. Let's see. Some books do have 153.5. So, and then the majority of them are 152.5. 153s are popping up. So if you can get a 152 or 152.5, I would take the over. That's my suggestion. Take the over. I definitely take that. FanDuel has 151. Some of them are 152s. I'm seeing the 152. So if you can get a 151, grab it now before it gets to 152. I would still take it at 152 as well. I see this going over. That's my suggestion. If you want to do that, I did not do that personally. Like I said, I took over 72 or 71.5 first half. That's what I played. Okay, so that's it for all the picks for hockey. Oh, college basketball, NFL. Now I do have to give you the college football. Gotta give you the college football picks. College football, the bull picks. I have to give you that. That one I have to give you. So, for the bowl game, Iowa State versus Miami. This one here, I took. I took the 58 and a half. I took over 58 and a half. That's what I personally bet. I see both. I took that's my personal bet in this game. Over 58 and a half. I took that one. That's my play. Now, I would play that one up to 60. I wouldn't go past 60. Right now, it's 60 and a half. So my suggestion is that the numbers kind of gotten away a little bit. So what I would do, I would suggest that you play play it live. Do the live bet this game to get a better number. Because right now, the value's kind of gone now with that one.
Alert.
The value's kind of gone with that one, so I would take the I would, if you can get it at the 58 and a half or 59, you can get it. If you cannot find it, wait till it goes live. That's all I can suggest to you. I'm on the over 58 and a half. Again, the Hurricanes defense, their defense, nothing to be crazy about. Again, the Canes defense, they don't tackle properly, poor tackling, and their bottom 15 efficiency numbers and passing downs. They're very penalized. This is a very penalized team. They rank 121st in yards per game with nearly 70 penalty yards per game, which is huge. So it gives Iowa State a team that struggles a little bit on offense. It gives them opportunities with the penalties to put themselves in better positions to score. So that's pretty big. That's a big factor. Now, and don't forget to, Hurricanes will use that. They use their offense. They'll flex their offense and put the pressure on Iowa State's defense to stop them, which is going to be impossible. Now, the Cyclones have tackling issues. They cannot tackle properly. They have tackling issues. That's 92nd in broken tackles allowed. They're 92nd, which is a red flag. So, with all that being said, that's why I like the over 58 and a half. I like the over. Play it up to 59 or up to 60. If it's 60, right now 60 and a half, like I said, if you can't get it now, bet it live and see if you can get that 58 or a lower number, 57 or something. It's for the over. That's my suggestion on that. One other bowl game I have, ECU, East Carolina versus NC State. It's 60 and a half. That's the total. I have no opinion on the spread. I had no opinion on the Miami Iowa State Miami. I would lean Miami -5. Right now it's -5. I take -5 Miami or 4.5. You can get 4.5. Take the 4.5. Or just do a money line. You can money line it. That's another thing, you can money line it. But I would lean Miami. I would suggest that. East Carolina, NC State. The total 60 and a half. The spread on this game here.
Halftime.
The spread on this game here. Let's see. Yeah, the spread on this game here. Let's look at it. It opened up at 5, -5, 59 and a half. Right now, you're looking at 7s across the board. 5, it opened up at 7 across the board right now. -7, 7.5 across the board. Total opened up at 59.5. It's gone to 60. 60.5 now. I took the first half. My play was the first half. 30.5 first half is my play. I'm playing that. That's what I'm playing. 30.5 first half over. East Carolina versus NC State in the bowl game. This game is in Annapolis, Maryland. That's an outdoor and on grass. I'm playing this game on grass. 30.5 first half for me. I like this game a lot. This will be a loosey-goosey game. Lots of offense. But I'm taking the first half. That's my take on that. Those are the only games I'm betting for the bowl games today. The other games I'm not touching. Those are my main plays for the bowl games today. That's what I like. Okay, so that's it for today. Those are all my picks for the bowl games. Again, I'm going to be doing another video strictly focusing in on the NBA, the National Basketball Association. A lot to break down. So we're going to get to that. Player props, everything. NBA basketball, we'll break that down. Dedicate our time to that today and give you plays on that. So until then, hopefully you can get to the window and get some of these games before 1 o'clock. Now, if you cannot get to some of the games by 1 o'clock, the hockey and the football games that I mentioned early on, try and get these games live. Live bet some of these games and catch some of these games live at the numbers that I told you. Catch some of these games live. That's all I can tell you. So again, good luck to everybody. Hope you cash those tickets. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Believe in yourself. Peace.